person that was able to, this is the person that was able to, help us to solve this issue. And your name or your status will be there forever. So publishing on partner platform. So you can publish on partner platform. Like I said, Sahara Reporter, they just publish randomly, and then Business Day, they just publish randomly using GovSpend data, But you personally, you can say that, okay, you want to partner with maybe some of your colleagues, that have been using, that has been uploading, publishing. So you can partner with them. By then, you are like, okay, I want to leave my comfort. Maybe I'm not sorry to use the word. Maybe you are like, okay, I don't need anybody. But before your story can go far, you need other partners, right? You need other platforms. You need people's idea that, oh, okay, what are the current situation? You need networking. You need to build relationship with other people that you know that, oh, this thing is, okay, actually the problem, but this is what we want to solve, right? And then enhancing credibility and reach. So data back stories, with the previous story that I just shared with us, I just showed us. So it was backed up with a data like, okay, how much is the actual budgeted figure? So they said 100 million. So you must back your story up with data. And attribution for using GovSpend, proper acknowledgement, strength in collaboration. And so you can refer to GovSpend. You can say that, okay, this data was there. You can even screenshot it, to tell a story that, okay, this is, I think the second link has it. So, and then this one is accountability in action. Citizens' voices, revived healthcare dream in Ikiru, Osun State. So maybe we should just have a look at this. Then we'll move to some of our fellows, that have also published, their reports using GovSpend data as well. So you can see this is the problem: accountability in action. Citizens' voices revived healthcare dream in, because I know that before this came into completion, they must have reached out to some organizations. They must have written a lot of FOIs. They must have tried as much as possible to get their data that, oh, this is what is ongoing before the problem, can be solved. So you can see this is GovSpend data, right? They check, and this is part of this is FOI. This is part of what our tracker, and the comes do in budget. So this is it. Can you see? So they ensured that when the project was allocated, they started with it. At the mid-level, they are still there. And at the completion level, they are still there, just to ensure that we see it from the hand to toe, or from the toe to the hand. So this is it. The journey of Adedeji and Lade is more than a tale of delay. It is a powerful reminder that government accountability is not automatic. It must be demanded. When citizens, communities, and advocates unite, even long forgotten promises can be transformed into reality. So we can see that, right, using the FOI to demand, accountability. So these are some of the story links from our GovSpend fellows. Budget was opportune to have a 12 fellows in 2023, and some of them work with the data on the GovSpend to tell a story. And what we told them was they should use a story in their own state, in their own community, right? And the one, I don't know, maybe any of us can remember Daniel Ojukwu that published something about the state, about the National Assembly and the Nigerian government, and they arrested him. So we stood up, we stood up to protest, and within 24 hours, he was released. And that is the power of what? Of a journalist. That is the power of data. That is the power of relationship, like connections. If there were no connections, if there were no relationship, if there was nothing, like other journalists, other media, they came together, we formed a group, and we merged to the police headquarters for his release. And within 24 hours, it was released because of what? Because of what he published. So and we can see how works issued. So this is one of their stories. This is one of their stories by Abubakar Ismail Kankara. So this is one of their story. You can see if you go through it. I'm going to share this slide with the host, and it's going to, so you can see. So there is a lot of stories that you can use, and there is a lot of stories that you can use the GovSpend data to tell about your community, about your state, about some other things. So we have them. We have so many of them. This is Aminat Adekunle Salako. This is another story that came up, So that is just it basically. For you to be able to report, tell a story, and be known, allow your work to receive credibility, you must also have your data. You must also have your data. So like I said, that I'm going to walk us through how the GovSpend works. So but before that, I would love us, I don't know if you have any questions so far before I walk us through the website. The website is not going to take much time. I'll just ensure that I walk us through the website, in less than 4 to 3 minutes. So then we are done. So the floor is open for question time. I don't know if any of the things that I mentioned are not clear to you and you would love to understand better, or you have a personal questions, that you feel like, oh, this is an opportunity for you to ask. Please go ahead. The floor is open. Okay, Jerry.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, thank you very much for your presentation. Lots of questions to ask. So number one, a friend, a friend he also featured on my program. He's a representative of budget in Anambra. Project for 2024. So I want to know, in terms of reporting, are we to, how do I explain myself now? Are we to focus on the present year or the previous year? And for 2024, is it still being implemented? That's the one question. Number two, we understand that government has priority. So despite the fact that, because most of the argument most lawmakers will make is, well, it's budget doesn't mean the money has actually been released. How do we? I know you mentioned that about the open treasury. How do we ensure that particular um, this particular project, the money has been released for that? And also, we know government takes a lot of loan. This particular administration in particular, yeah, they take a lot of loan. How do we track that this money actually utilized properly for the objective they had in mind? And thirdly, for the is there a way we can download the soft copy for the budget for each state? I mean, from the federal level for each state, because that will help in searching. So since you gave me this handbook, I've been trying to sort out projects based on local government or senatorial district, and I realize it's all modeled off. I mean, it's better than nothing, but yeah, it's all modeled off. So I don't know if you can have access to the soft copy, so you can search easily based on location or senatorial or constituency. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. I think your first question is if you are reporting, is it necessary or mandatory to start from the previous or the current year?
Yeah.
So it depends on what you are reporting on. And some of these projects, most especially constituency projects, are always carried over. And that is why if you see, sometimes if you check the approved budgets, let's say 2024 approved budgets, you will see some of the projects that are listed there under constituency projects as new. And we will have some as ongoing. Then, by the time they released the 2025 approved budget, you will also see these same projects as ongoing. Maybe the project is a construction, maybe it's based on construction of a giant, maybe hospital or schools or any MDA office. So you'll be like, okay, the discretion to use there now will now be, is the amount, maybe they put 1.2 billion in it. And you'll be wondering that 1.2 billion, okay, this is okay, this is okay, this is okay, this is okay. Then you want to track how maybe this project has commenced or not. Then what do you need to do? I said something when I was explaining. I said the data or the status of these projects would be on the daily payment report released by the Office of the Accountant General of the Federation, who owns the opentreasury.gov.ng. So by then, you will see the daily payment reports. But because these daily payment reports are complex, are not structured the way it should be, that is why we budget, we scrape most of this data to the GovSpend platform. All you have to do is to go to the GovSpend platform, download it, like maybe the year, or you can search by the project's name. If there is a payment for that project, it will pop up. And by then, you will be able to see that, oh, this payment is actually, okay, this is the contractor, this is maybe this is the beneficiary, this is the organization handling this project. Then you have your evidence that, oh, okay, this is it. And if nothing comes up, that means maybe they have made the payment, but they have not, maybe they are going to they've not released that information to the Open Treasury, because anything they release on the Open Treasury will, during the scraping to our home budget GovSpend portal, it will scrape automatically. But if you say you want to go to the opentreasury.gov.ng to download this data, it is downloadable. But for you to now understand how it works, like, okay, this is the category, name, serial number, time, date, amount, description, it will be lumped up. So that is why it is very important that we use the GovSpend data, which has been, analyzed, cleaned, sorted into categories. And then another question you raised is about I think I've answered most of the questions, right? Right?
Getting the soft copy of the budget for each state.
Okay, so getting the soft copy of the budget for each state. So you cannot do that, going to the federal level, which is budget office of the federation. But you can do that at the state level, state website, abiastate.gov.ng. But we don't want citizens to, strikes, why would I, is a state government budget that you are looking for. So therefore, you can visit our one of our platforms, which is openstate.ng, openstate.ng. We have all these 36 states, budget documents, budget BIR, budget accountant general of the accountant reports. We have it there, and we have audit reports. We have budget speech. We have several documents on that state. So that is when you can now say, okay, and if you are looking at the state budget report, so you must first understand what do you need the state budget for. And you can't lump this state budget document with what is some of these constituency projects will still be in their budgets. Like, okay, these are the constituency projects that the federal government wants to do because it is compulsory for them to do in that state. But the state government also have their own capital projects, which is which we budgetize as top capital project, or some people say capital expenditure by projects. So that is where you will now see. But you can't write a story or make a case if if they have not really commenced anything on it. And if you want to make a case, you have to okay, we want to make a case. This is the budget and this is the quarterly BIR. You want to look at the Q1 BIR, which is quarter one budget implementation report. You have to search for such particular project, then look at their BIR and look for the particular project. Then you see the budgeted figure, then you see the actual spending. So that is when you can now write it, a story that, okay, you notice this XYZ. So I think I've answered. Have I answered your question?
Okay, just 2 more questions and I'll be done. Last week on community report about how
sorry, is your line is like your line is
this.
breaking.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Yes, I said I started the program on radio last week and community report, and most of my callers kept on lamenting about the decay of projects in their community. Like I said, the budget representative in Anambra, and exactly why I decided to join this today, and how to help people track projects in their own community and not just waiting for God to help them. And so I'm looking at, is there a possibility of partnership, especially because you made mention of giving credit to whom credit is due. Of course, budget is doing a lot in terms of holding government accountable. So is there a way there's a possibility of partnership so that it will be to the right quarters?
Okay. I think so citizens can also track, and track a particular project and then stand firm as, as their own community champion. Because for every state, or let me say every state, yes, we have community champions whereby we ensure that they have this full understanding about how they can track a project in their community. And that is why one of the tools that Budget uses is the Tracker mobile app. We have a Tracker mobile app that you can easily download on your phone. Anywhere you are, you'll be seeing the status of this project. You can report a project. If you notice you are working, maybe I'm in Abuja now, and I'm working towards Asokoro, and I see maybe a project is being abandoned, I can easily snap it and report, right, the case. The name is going to be anonymous, that, oh, who reported this, and the tracker department would, try to follow up with the case. And in terms of partnership, Budget is opened. You can, we can link you up with our state officers. We can link you up with our state community champions, and before you know it, change will be happening. And then they will be like, oh, we are the stakeholder of this community. All right. So I think have I answered the question? Okay. So am I speaking to myself? Can anybody hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. We have some
Okay.
questions in the chat box as well. Aliyu Adam wants to know if, I don't know if you already answered that, but I think you were talking about it just now. If
Okay.
GovSpend tool is the only one we can use to track government spending on a particular project. And I think you had answered it earlier, but maybe to just reiterate. Sakina Ahmed says that she tried using the GovSpend tool one time in 2022 and it didn't work out. Maybe she approached it wrongly. So I'm sure she'll benefit from you showing us how to use the tool. Those are
Okay.
the comments.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. All right. So let me walk us through the GovSpend platform. Okay. So let me increase this a bit. Just a few minutes. Okay. Okay, so let me say this is GovSpend. GovSpend GovSpend.ng. Then I'll click on enter. Can you all see my screen? Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see your screen.
All right. All right. All right. Thank you. So this is the first page that will appear once you click. Once you go to the portal, govspend.ng. So what do you need? It said track and analyze federal government spending over time. So discover who is being paid, what they are getting paid for, and when they were paid. So this is see who is getting paid by the federal government. So this is just demo. So you'll be wondering that, oh, this is all I can see from the GovSpend portal. So like I said, and the way I showed us in my presentation, that we have the Explore, we have the MDs, we have the beneficiary, we have the downloads, and we have the resources. So so for the Explore, we have, I said, we have all transactions, we have daily payments summaries, we have monthly summaries, we have yearly summary. And under the MDAs, we have ministries, we have agencies. Under the beneficiaries, we have all. If you want to search all the transactions without no category, you can go there. And we have organizations. I mentioned that if a payment, maybe they made a payment to a contractor or maybe the company handling the particular project, you want to know the organizations, involved. So there are some organizations that received, payment from the federal government, and there are some individuals, that received payment from the federal government. So these are the beneficiaries and these are the categories of it. So then we have the downloads whereby you can, let me see if I can go about this. Okay. So we have the download. You can download it in an CSV format, SLS format, SLS format, ODS format. So it depends on what you are looking for. If the information you are looking for is on agriculture, is on state level, so we can see that if this is my questionnaire, I clicked on it and we can see state house, we can see bureau of, so any sort of information you are looking for, you are going to get it from there. So, and then the resources, so this talks about the reports. Then, so let's go back to the Explore. So, yeah, we can say, so this is the Explore. We can say, I want to view all the transactions. Or let me say, I want to view all the transactions, right? For the year 2024. So I'll come to the fiscal year. I'll select my year, which is 2024. So here I can select maybe by description, by agency, by beneficiary, but I want to decide to click on all. So I don't know if it is my network. Okay. So I'm coming. Let me retake that again. So all transactions. So all transactions, yes. So it will pop up and you'll be seeing some transactions like, okay, being payments, say take for instance, December 31st, 2024. So this automatically took it from the back. So these are the beneficiary, Matons Multi-Investment Company Limited. So I want to ask, is this an individual beneficiary or an organization beneficiary? Please, someone should respond to that. This Matons Multi-Investment Company Limited, is it an organizational beneficiary that received money from the federal government or an individual, person? Who can respond to that? So no one is responding. Okay. So if you are using any of this data, okay. Oyeyemi, please let's have you.
Okay, apologies for
Okay.
I was trying to type, but then so
Okay.
the name of the organization, yeah, it says Malta Multi Investment Company. It sounds like that multi investment company sounds like an organization. It sounds like an organization name, but like the name Mountain, it sounds like an individual name. So it's kind of conflicting. Naturally, one would think, okay, maybe it's an organization that's an individual organization, because like an individual like an organization, why should you use your own personal name? I don't
Okay.
know if you get. Yeah, so it sounds like an organization name, but it's giving the vibe of an individual person.
Okay. All right. Thank you. This is an organization name, right? Is an organizational name, Matons Multi-Investment Company. So who is paying Maton Multi-Investment Company? Federal Fire Service. What for, right? Bill payment for the supply and installation of 5 kVA inverter solar panel and other accessories in FFX Lagos Command, IFO, Marathons Multi-Investment Company Limited. So you can see the payment code, and you can see the payment amount, right? So this is the payment code. This is the payment amount. So, and then the reason why I asked that question, that, okay, how would you know if it is an organizational beneficiary or an individual? So anytime you see an individual payment, like this is an individual, okay, this is an organizational, Olubok Construction Nigeria Limited, right? So if you are talking about an individual, and this is Nigeria Army University Bill, Yakubu Abubakar, this is an individual, right? You can say NAU Internet Data Subscription. What for? As in, okay, we know that, okay, are they saying that they want to use 5 million for? So it's like, okay, you want to come up with a story, okay, you can just go through the GovSpend portal, and then there are some transactions that you will see. If you notice that, oh, you are not getting this rightly, okay, maybe you're having a challenge. Sometimes it is challenging, like for you to differentiate between the organization and a benefit, an individual. So you can easily reach out, to the host, and then she will definitely, help you out. And then, so you can also see this. So remember, we are looking at the transactions for the full year. So another one is daily payment transactions. So for 2024, so let's look at February. So February, so this is February. So it's saying that for the whole of February, for the whole of 2024, these are the transactions, right? And then the total transaction is 26, and then the agency. So how do you now break it down? So this graph shows us that, oh, these are top 5 agencies, and top 5 beneficiaries. So top 5 MDAs, so top 5 beneficiaries, So this payment, these are the people that paid, and these are the recipient. So these are the payer, and these are the recipient. So if you are writing your story, then you can see the breakdown of it, January 2024, Navy. So this is questionable, right? You can center your story around it, like a question somebody asked, that is it possible for you to write or make your stories on the past or previous, or the previous or the fiscal. So you can see an example here, January 2024, non-regular allowance. So what for? So 8 million. So you can ask a questions, you can see how, you can ask a question, you can sit down with this data and digest it, go through it, and you will see some discrepancies that, oh, this is not meant to be. And this is why, we need to make a case for such, payments. Then another one is monthly summary. So another one is monthly summary. Okay, so let's say for February 2024, monthly summary. So you can see, so this is monthly summary. The reason why I'm choosing 2024 is because there was no data for 2020, for January 2024. So if you want to center your story, you can. So you can see the agency that paid Ogun State government. Ogun State government is the beneficiary, right? How much is it? 30 billion. So being release of fund from 2023 supplementary budget to Ogun State government as special. So you can just go, around it and see. And this is monthly, this is yearly. So the same thing goes to that, and these are the beneficiaries, like I said earlier. So if you can know if you can identify the organization and know if a payment is made to an individual account or to an individual person then and or organization, then you are free, you are good to go with your report. And then before you go with your report, you must also ensure that you aligned what you are seeing here with what you are seeing on the constituency, on the FGM budget. And sometimes you can just come up with this because any data, all the data we have on this portal or this GovSpend platform is directly from the opentreasury.gov.ng. We didn't do any add up or subtraction. So any data you pull out from here to tell a story is genuine. Another one is, okay, so let's try. So someone should tell me what we should try. Someone should tell me what we should try again. Someone should tell me what we should try.
All right, sir. Actually, before saying what we should try, I actually have multiple of questions, but you've
Okay,
answered some of them, and Jerry has also asked some of the
okay,
questions. And one of
okay,
them is the issue of like open treasury, like where budget gets their own data from, like open
okay.
treasury. So like the data cannot be dismissed as fake or outdated or something. You know, we are in the age of AI, and people just bring data from anywhere, and all of like they just pick out data. AI just give, even if the data is fake, some person AI will just give you one data that you are not. So like how can we make other journalists aware that there is something like
GovSpend.
budget, or yeah, open states tracker, GovSpend, and all of that. Like, how can we make other journalists aware? Because the truth is, journalists like they actually have difficulties. Most journalists have difficulties in actually tracking data, getting data, and all other sort of information. How can we make journalists? How can we create this awareness that there is an app called GovSpend, and it can actually make your data um accessibility easier. That's number one. Number two, like when Jerry asked about how we can actually get state allocations, how the data can be easily made accessible, I was going to ask before then, like, is there, okay, for the state now we have openstate.ng, is there any, I know that local government is actually under state, is there any for local government, how local government expenditures, money, and all of that can be tracked, sir? Can we
Okay,
explain that?
thank you. Okay, thank you so much for that. I'm glad that you said I've mentioned, I've answered most of the things you intend to have. For the awareness, so you can always write, once you write a report, definitely you are going to make reference to where you get your data from. And like I explained, most of these, all the data, 100% of this data on the GovSpend is 100% sure, as in correct, because there is a link between the opentreasury.gov.ng and GovSpend. And in my explanation, when we began this conversation, I mentioned that there is a collaboration between budget and the Federal Ministry of Finance and the OATF. So if you come to this portal and make use of the data, so once you reference it that, oh, from the GovSpend, so everybody knows GovSpend and is popularly known everywhere. And second one is how to get state LGA expenditure. So budget, as one of the platforms that budget also has, is me.budget.org. We call it budget personalized platform, where you can see all the transactions regarding LGAs, local governments, you can see some projects regarding that LGA. If this is it, maybe I should do a demo of it and so that I don't know if I still have much time. Our host, do I still have much time, or so that I don't know
We
if I
have
can just
about
do.
19 minutes, so.
Okay, so let me just quickly do a demo of it, and so that it can help us to have a better understanding of it. So is me.budget.org. So it will ask you to sign in. So you enter your email address. So because I already signed up, so you sign up. So the local government, anytime, like recently now, we are uploading for the month of August 2025. So once a data is uploaded to your local government, automatically an email will be sent to you, email notification will be sent to you. And then you understand, you know that, oh, okay, there is a new data, new allocation to my LGA or my state. So you can go there and view how much is, given to your states or your local government rather. And you can see, so let me just sign in. So this is me. Like I've been saying, I'm from Kwara State, Irekodun local government. You can see August. This is the allocation to Irekodun local government state, like the state level, right? The Irekodun local government allocation. So this is how much they awarded, like, okay, this is how much you are giving to the local government. 530 billion, right? Then this is how much is allocated to the state level. So this is how much is allocated, which is 11.379 billion. Then, so the federal FAC, you can now see that, okay, the total overall FAC, before they now started disbursements to different states, different LGAs. This is the accumulated figure. Then, so the projects, right, that I'm talking about. So there is a link up between the tracker department, the tracker mobile app, right, with this app and some of our platforms like the Open States, the GovSpend. You can then see, you can see provision of boreholes to selected communities in Kwara State Senatorial District. You can see how is it new. And I think I mentioned something like this when I was discussing some of the slides. So this is part of it. And you can just come up, you can ask a question, take actions, you can click on it. If you notice that, okay, this thing is not, is not going the way it should be, then provision of medical supplies, email or call, this. So we'll take it up, and from there you get for the top of your storytelling and all that. I don't know, maybe have been able to answer that as well. All right. So for this, I asked the other time that I don't know if there is anybody that has questions aside what Abolade asked. So if there is none, I would say that they said I still have 19 minutes. I know the time is running. So why is this? Okay, so there is a slide. So I said, okay, interactive exercise, small group activity, pick a data set on GovSpend and brainstorm a story idea per state or region. So I don't know from the host if this is doable with the short time that I'm still having. Or they can do it, then share with you. Then probably tomorrow you can revert back. Then I can now say, okay, these are the areas where I think this person needs to leverage on, So I think the next step, how journalists can access GovSpend information, navigate directly on the GovSpend, which we have done, and then use filter to focus on sector, state, or specific project of interest. So I think we've come to the end of the presentation. So thank you so much for the opportunity and your attention. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was really packed. I have a lot of questions, but some of them have been asked, and you've explained through a lot of the concepts that have answered some of the questions that I had. So thank you for a brilliant presentation and for taking us through the GovSpend tool. You've offered to mentor anyone willing to, oh, sorry, I was a bit distracted. Okay, so he said that we should do an exercise, but because of time, we would do it at our own time. We'll do it at our own time also because it can also help you come up with story ideas and pitches that you can share with us. And like I said earlier, we'll be happy to provide a story grant and mentorship to support you all through to publication. And you can publish on the Social Voices platform. So please bear that in mind. And that said, after this session, I will be sharing the slides. I also wanted to ask if we can get an example of what an FOI letter looks like, because you mentioned it during your presentation, but I'm not sure everyone is quite familiar with what FOI is or what a typical FOI letter should look like. So if you can share a sample with us, I will share with them in the group. And yes, I would post the exercise again on the group. So anyone who's interested can go ahead, explore the GovSpend tool at your own time, come up with a story idea. I'll also share our basic pitch template. So you can also use that to come up with a pitch and share with editor@socialvoices.org, and you get a response. Thank you so much, everyone, for participating, for the great questions, for being so attentive. Thank you, Thaddeus, again for your time. I don't know if you have any final remarks. During his presentation, he charged all of us to take up accountability reporting. So beyond just learning this, let's be swift to put it into practice as well. And we're here to support you. That said, thank you, everyone. I want to now open the floor in case anyone wants to drop any comments or share insights, or if you're just excited that this has been a great learning session for you. So I will leave the floor open until 2 o'clock and probably play some music if you want. But yeah, please go over what we've learned and let's continue to connect in the group. Thank you all. I'm trying to figure out, okay, I think everyone can, you can unmute yourself if you want to share any insights or share anything about what you've learned or ask any further questions. And we'll continue in the group. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Thaddeus.
Thank you too. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Please, what's the website, Thaddeus? What's the GovSpend website? Let me put it in the chat box.
Okay, govspend.ng.
Okay, so it's
govspend.ng.
Okay, so there was another one you said about me.budget. Something.
Yes.
Which
Yes.
one is that one?
me.budget.org.
Okay, so that's the one to get your own dashboard and monitor things in your own local government and community. Okay, I have shared both websites. I've added them in the chat box. Explore array. All right, guys, if you want to hang this music, then you're welcome to do that. I will play some music. Or if you have any questions, comments, insights, please drop them in the comment section or unmute yourself. Have the floor. Aziz, you can sign it. You have to sign up first. Sign up, you have login details that you can use to sign in.
Hello.
Yes, Oluwakemi, you have to.
Yeah. Good afternoon.
Mm.
I want to just to clarify. Is it possible to get the recording of this training after? Then that's one. Then second question is it possible on budget to know what government, for instance, the let's say Lagos state government, for instance, what they budgeted for education and what they actually spent in that fiscal year, so that we can see the margin.
Okay, thank you, Oluwakemi. For the first question, we'll be uploading the recording, the recording on our YouTube, and I'll share the link in the group. So for every session, you'll be able to go back to it using the YouTube link. I think the second question is for Thaddeus. So Thaddeus, did you get it?
Okay, so I think I got it. So that's talking about the Lagos State budget, right? And I think I explained it when I was making the presentation. So I said, if you want to take, for instance, based on what you asked, you said you want to know if a budget, you want to know the actual spending from a budgeted figure for education. So it's easier. So you can just go to openstate.ng and you can go to Lagos State website. And if you don't find it there, you can use the Google search engine. You can just put Lagos State but approved 2025 budget. Then Lagos State or Lagos State Q1 or Q2 2025 PIR. So you can download it. Then for the budgeted figure for education, you will see it, the original budget or revised budget. Then you will see the actual spending for the particular year. The actual spending, Q1 means January, February, March. So you see the actual spending in it. Then you'll be able to compare that, oh, maybe 56 billion was budgeted for education for the fiscal year. And you want to know, and they spent in Q1, they only spent 3 billion. 3 billion in the fiscal year. You'll be like, okay, we still have how many more quarters? 3 more quarters to go. Okay, maybe at the end of Q2 quarters, then you are not like, oh, they should have maybe step up a bit. And you still discover that they haven't. So you can also talk about that. And these are the analyses that, one of the analyses that budget does, the top sectors in the country that should bring development, to the country, to the economy, to the citizens, to the state. And if you are not seeing it, so it's possible or paramount to ask questions and to challenge. Then I also add this regarding the FOI that you asked. So FOI means Freedom of Information Acts, FOIA, right? So it is just to express, your concerns about a particular thing, maybe a pressing need, like a project in your community. Okay, you notice this and you have your data, you have your backup, you have your evidence. So you can just, channel it to the department or MDAs that you are channeling it to. Maybe you want to write to the Ministry of Justice. Okay, they want to build you want to build an XYZ, in my community. And we notice that fund has been released and this and this. So maybe you can also, maybe Ministry of Works, you can write, you can just write, maybe it's at the state level or at the federal level. So just ensure that you have your evidence-based, information before you now write. You can request an FOI, is Freedom Act, Freedom of Information Act, right? FOI. So you can also write like, okay, you want to know the total expenditure spending, total expenditure for 2024, 2023, 2022, for the maybe the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. They'll be able to give you. And if they now refuse to give you, then that is when you now know that, okay, something is fishing. But if they have the document ready, they will definitely give you. And the FOI also helps you to like, okay, keep track of how this money has been spent, and then maybe some of these projects in your communities, like abandoned projects. Like one of the stories that I tried to like showed earlier, you can see how FOI was drafted, and after the FOI, there were a lot of interventions, and after the interventions, they commenced the project. After the comment at the mid-level, it was posted to the final stage. So that is the power of the FOI tools. Yeah, I think I hope I've answered your questions to the host and to Oluwakemi.
Yes, I think you answered that, and thank you
All
very
right.
much. I think in one of your slides, you had one of such letters pasted. Thank you again, and thank you everyone for staying through to the end. I hope you picked up something from this session. And yeah, I think that is it for now.
Yeah,
Please,
thank you
goodbye,
too.
everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great afternoon.
That one. That green one. That green.